we're constantly balancing from the people side of the house to the analytical, challenging side of the house, and we're just gonna have to be a little bit more flexible with our style, but start by recognizing everybody on your team is either pretty challenging and analytical or very people-focused, and just trying to understand what you can do to present information that might be, again, more feeling-based, people-based, or analytical-based. To be an effective communicator, you have to meet your team members where they're at. You got it. I said it once, I'll say it again. You have to meet your team members where they're at. What that means is recognizing that everybody on your team is very unique. Just imagine that they each have their own very specific language that they like to speak. In order for you to communicate with them, you have to understand what language they're speaking. It's no different than me expecting to go to France, and I don't speak French, that I'm talking with somebody who does speak French, and I'm using English, and I'm speaking louder, and I'm speaking slower and expecting them to understand me. And I feel sometimes that as leaders, that's what we're doing with our team members. We think that our style is the one style and everybody knows the style, and that's the best style to use to create engagement. It is not. We have to recognize our team members have preferences, they have styles, and if we want to build greater connection with them, it is on us to initiate that understanding through effective communication. So I'm going to give you 3 tips right now for helping you meet your team members where they're at. The first one is just really simply observing and recognizing that each of your team member has a very unique style. Pay attention to it. Are they very direct? Are they bold with their ideas? Are they quick to think on their feet? That's really useful. You can understand what type of cadence you can keep with people who demonstrate this style. Or maybe you have somebody on your team who's like a think out loud, very expressive kind of person who really gets excited when you keep pace with them too and generate ideas. And maybe there are times too that you have to redirect them and keep them focused, but you love that they have that energy. You may have other professionals on your team who are a little bit more calmer or a little bit more analytical. That's really great information to know because it's going to determine how you send messages to them best so they are more likely to receive them. So that's number 1. Really understand their style. Don't judge it. Don't degrade it because it's not yours, it's theirs. And that's how they've been functioning their whole life. And your job as a leader is to serve them. That's really helping us to become better actuals in our own life, is just by recognizing that we're here to serve people. And if we're taking care of people, they're taking care of us. So step 1, know people's style. Step 2, respect people's thinking style. Kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. Are they people or are they challenging logical people? Some people, when they think, they're thinking about collaboration. They're thinking about team environment. They're thinking about the people around them. That is great. Sometimes though, when it comes to things that are impersonal, that's not always helpful. We have to think about logic and challenging and analytics, and that's great too. I feel sometimes as leaders, we're constantly balancing from the people side of the house to the analytical, challenging side of the house, and we're just going to have to be a little bit more flexible with our style, but start by recognizing everybody on your team is either pretty challenging and analytical or very people-focused, and just trying to understand what you can do to present information that might be, again, more feeling-based, people-based, or analytical-based. Because if you can do that, suddenly you can open better gateways for more powerful conversations. The third thing I want you to do in your effort to better meet your team where they're at is really starting to empathize with their worldview. That's it. Empathize with their worldview. Don't judge their worldview because they're of a different generation, or maybe they grew up in a rural community, or their just lives are different than you. Maybe they're different nationalities. Really seek to understand what their worldview is, starting from like where you were born, where you got your education, your career experience, and your history. And as you learn to empathize with people, maybe too, like what is their family situation like? What do you know about them? What motivates them? What inspires them? If you can empathize with your team member, you can start to put yourself from their viewpoint, if that makes sense to you. So you can see yourself from a different point of view, their point of view. And you can start to understand too how to build greater connection. Reminder, you are on your actualization journey. You are the actual you. It is in your best interest as you grow and develop yourself that you cultivate a greater sense of responsibility for effectively communicating with the people around you, because we need people. We are a part of this amazing community called life. And if we want to motivate, inspire, get other people excited, wanting to rally, then we must recognize we have to be that change. I gave you 3 tips today of helping you create greater connection with your team by meeting them where you're at. I know you've got some great ideas, so please put them in the comments below. And do not forget to subscribe to the Actual Angie YouTube channel. Look forward to seeing you soon.